Traders, today we're going to be talking about swing trading technical analysis for Bitcoin BTC. We'll be picking up from where we left off, and as you can see, Bitcoin is still bleeding, it's still gushing red. It is selling off, and as I'm sure you're hearing all the naysayers, they're on there talking about Bitcoin is crashing, it's gonna go to zero and all the rest of it. So what we're gonna do for this video right here is we're gonna clean up the noise, and hopefully I may be able to add some type of insights into when you should start to panic if you're a Bitcoin holder, and if you're relatively okay right now with what's happening in the Bitcoin space. So make sure you watch this video all the way to the end. And this is the follow-up from the last video that I did, which was roughly about 2 weeks ago on Bitcoin. So with that said, let's get straight into it. Okay, traders, welcome back to today's episode on Bitcoin. We're going to be talking about what is currently happening. Obviously, Bitcoin is selling off. It is gushing red right now, okay? But however, is it bad news? Is it bad news? Not really, but at the same time, we are going to talk about that. So with that said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring on the work that I did previously on Bitcoin, right? So I'm just going to bring on all the work that we did. And as you can see, the chart is looking super busy, right? But I need you to stay with me right now, because this is really important before I get rid of all of this stuff, just so that we have a rough idea as to where we was in the last video that we did and where we're heading to now, right? Now, the cool thing is, me personally, I'm just an average Joe. I'm an average Joe that's taking a lot of time to understand how to analyze the markets, okay? So with everything I say, you might want to cross-reference that with someone that you deem is an expert, because I'm not a financial advisor. But in saying that, I have demonstrated, not only in my personal life, but across the board, that I am good at what it is that I do, which is market analysis, managing funds, or should I say my funds, right? So I am very good at this stuff, right? And I just want to put it out there. I'm not going to tell you, oh, I made 20 million in 2 days, because all of that is all noise, right? The bottom line is the skill. I would rather show you than tell you I'm the guy. Okay, so first things first, in the last video, I need my pointing for this, right? So in the last video, what we basically did was we was right here on the last video that I did, right in this area right here, right? This is where that video ended. We was right in this area right here, okay, where it ended. And the areas that I pointed out that was going to be of concern, or when the Bitcoin space in regards to social media was going to blow up crazy, was when price came into 104k, between 104k and 98k, okay? And as we can see, price has done that. Price has come into that zone, right? That's it right here. That's where we are right now. This is why I'm actually making the video. Other than that, I'll be talking about either gold or one of the other indices, or possibly Forex, right? So price has come into this area right now. So because price has come into this area, this is where we kind of need to be sensible in terms of what we do and how we basically do it, right? And also as well, reason why I'm highlighting all this stuff out to you is because I'm going to clean up this chart again. So we're going to clean everything off, and then we're going to rebuild it again in a way that is in line with current events right now. Okay, so we know what this area is. This is where we did the last video. This is where price is now. Okay, let's get rid of that. And there were levels that I mentioned in regards to if we get a close above, we could possibly think about taking buys. Okay, and that was this location right here. Okay, so this was the 61 level of the trend-based Fibonacci. Okay, and as we can see, price went through it. So price went through it, right? Came back, did a retest in this area, and is now shut off where it's in the zone of between 104 and 98. So that's what's happened right now. Okay, right? Hence why the 61 level is so important to keep an eye on, especially when you're using the fib. It is so important to be mindful and have that on your charts at all times, because even when you get trades wrong, right, okay, it can help you fix it immediately, right? Because price likes to play around at these levels of the 61 level of the Fibonacci levels and the 38 level of the Fibonacci levels. Those two levels will help you out immensely. So where price is bouncing off from right now, okay, is roughly around the 98 level. Okay, so this is where price has gone into the super parabolic all the way down, came into roughly around the 98 level, and the new candle that we have, which is today's candle, and we are looking at this on the day, is moving away from that 98 level. Okay, at some point, depending on how market closes today, we might get an FVG in this area right here. Okay, now FVGs, which is really important, is the ITC concept, right? It's a good idea, but don't blindly follow FVG levels, right? It's so important that you do not blindly follow FVG levels. Market always makes sense, and market, believe it or not, is super logical. Okay, right? So long as you're able to exercise patience at key levels, all right, chances of you going wrong is going to be quite minimal. But that is down to you exercising patience, which means a lot of the time you're not going to be trading, you're just going to be watching, right? So we know where price is right now. Okay, we've got the fib level laid on and price moved away from the fib level, right? So I've explained the fib, so now we're going to get rid of the fib. Okay, certain levels we're going to keep there and we're not going to get rid of. We're not going to get rid of these levels because we need them for later on. The level that I've highlighted in this area right here is an important level now, so we're going to keep that in place, and that is 111k, that level right here. Okay, so we're going to keep that in place. The top side level, we're going to get rid of that because that we can revisit later. Market is flying down now, so we kind of need to focus our attention as to how low this whole situation can go. All right, now the level that you need to be concerned about, okay, the level you need to be concerned about if you're a long-term holder of BTC is the level of between 82k and 71k. I said that in the last video. All right, that level is what is going to let you know if market is about to go bearish, right? And once that level is knocked out, okay, this is where you can then decide if you're going to be taking sell positions or if you're just going to wait to see how low it goes before you buy back into the market again. Personally, because of what Bitcoin is, as it's falling, is it an opportunity to make money? Absolutely. Should I? Yes. Would I? No. Right? Reason being is I just want to set and forget. If I put in a sell, I have to watch the thing like a hawk. If I wait for it to drop lower to as low as possible and starts to retrace back, I can just lock it in and get off the screen. That's just my thinking. I may be right, I could be wrong. You know what I mean? It just is what that is. So as it stands right now, price is in where it is, right? Now, in terms of the volume profile, price is currently sitting in the value area low of the volume profile. So it hasn't even made its way into the high value area. When price makes its way into the high value area in terms of bearish sentiment, this is going to be one of your first alarms about what is actually happening in that space, because the probability of it going bearish would have significantly increased. All right, and that level in question that you want to keep your eye on is the high side of the value area high of 94k, right? Price closes below that, yes, you're going to be concerned, but before that even happens, if it closes below 98, I promise you every single crypto influencer is going to be screaming bloody murder when that happens, right? So you don't need me to come on and tell you. You're already gonna know. If you're on X, Insta, YouTube, whatever, they're gonna be talking about it. But what I want you to take away from this, right, is when you should be freaking out and when you shouldn't be freaking out, and when you should look at everything as an opportunity, depending on how you want to do business, right? Because I'm going to drop in another logic to your thinking process for BTC that I think could be extremely beneficial, and we're going to get to that in a moment. So the level, if we get a close below 94, we know that there is a high possibility that things is going to start to go wrong. Okay, so as price begins to make its way down, if it does make its way down and it finds itself in between the 82 and 71, this is where you have to be worried, right? Especially if you are a long-term trader of BTC. So as it stands right now, BTC is bouncing off that support level. Okay, so it's bouncing off that support level. Key levels of interest to jump back into the market for longs into the upside will move from where I had that level up here before, and it will come down to this level, which should be at 111k. Why? Because that will be the most recent swing high. All right, so with that said, what we're now going to do is we're going to take the opposite approach, and we're going to look at what could potentially go wrong if Bitcoin is in fact gone bearish. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring on our trusted fib, right? We're going to drop it on right here. And then as we can see right here, right now, okay, Bitcoin has closed below the 61 level, right? It's closed below the 61 level, okay? The fib levels are just there as a guide, but at the same time, you kind of want to take them a little bit serious, right? So let me highlight this area. Let me make this pop. Okay, so Bitcoin is right under the 61 level. The 61 level in question, if I just add a little price tag on that, is at 102. Okay, so it's at 102. Current price is at 101. We have to wait to see where it closes today, right? Now that has happened, okay, we now need to look at the possible drop in how low Bitcoin can go according to the fib level, all right? So the first 61 level after the 0.61 level is going to be inside of the zone of 82 and 71, and this is it right here. So I'm going to point this level out to you guys, okay? And that there is 79. Okay, so between 79 and 71, you will pray to all the deities that you know that price bounces from this level. If it does not bounce from this level, okay, your next level, at which point in my mind, Bitcoin's gone bearish at this stage, right? We have a close below the 79, and at worst, it's come below 71. I know Bitcoin has gone bearish. I don't need anyone to tell me. I already know that, right? So the next thing is, this is the last level. The last level to save Bitcoin before Michael Saylor goes crazy. Right? And that level in question, my dear friends, would be 53K, right? If price knocks out, let me get a pointer one. So if price knocks out this zone right here, finds his way down here, makes his way down to around the value area low of the volume profile, which will be around 2.61 level according to the fib, right? And comes down lower, my friends, the party's over. The party is over, okay? And this is where the doom and gloom of BTC will now come into effect. And you have to bear in mind, if it knocks out this level right here, it has basically taken out the previous highs of the previous years. Okay, so what's this? This will be 2021. Yep, 2021. So the highs of 2021 would have been knocked out. Okay, at which point the swing lows that we'll be looking at will be around these levels right here, which is 29K, and these swing lows down here, which is 16K, right? So at this point, there's going to be a lot of bad things happening in the world. If Bitcoin gets to those levels. You all know what it is that I'm talking about. If Bitcoin makes it that far down, it's going to be crazy. As it stands right now, it is not near those levels as of yet, but it is concerning. So let me get rid of this for now. Let me get rid of the fib levels for now. Actually, no, we keep the fibs there. We're going to keep the fibs there. And then the next thing that we are going to do now is we're going to adjust the trend line, because this is what I like to do, okay? So the trend line gave us an indication for a sell, and it was accurate, right? Based on how the trend line was drawn. If I had moved the trend line over here, okay, over to this level right here, when this new low was formed, it would have been accurate again. We would have gotten all of this move to the downside if you were selling BTC. Now I'm going to move the trend line over here, okay? When the trend line becomes invalid is when it turns into a support, right? At which point this trend line is absolutely invalid. It's just gone left. There is nothing that can be done to save it. So now that we've gotten these out of the way, the next thing that we're going to do right now is we're going to do what all the retail traders, I'm a retail trader too, right? So I like saying retail traders like I'm not a retail trader, but I'm a retail trader too, right? We're going to draw retail trader market structure. So this is a retail trader market structure, right? And as we can see, when I was first like learning how to trade, I loved this stuff right here, man. I love this stuff. Like drawing this on my chart, that, oh, that looks so interesting, that looks so cool. In hindsight now, I'm like, yeah, you know what, it's just there. It doesn't really mean anything, right? So we've got the retail trading structures there, okay? And based on where price is right now, we get a close above 104. We can think about locking in with longs for BTC. But in all fairness, once we apply this retail trading structure to market, okay, this level right here is actually what we need knocked out, which is 126K. We get 126K knocked out, we are good. The good times is back on. Bitcoin is moving upwards, right? So there is a lot of drawings on the charts right now. It is super busy, okay? But I'm hoping you can follow along, and I'm hoping this stuff makes sense. And I'm hoping that if you are suffering from anxiety right now based on what Bitcoin is doing, okay, based on what I am looking at, all right, you are right to be fearful. You are right to be afraid, right? But however, there is still hope. It is not done yet, right? As a matter of fact, you can consider the chaos that's happening right now as an opportunity, right, to get more. But however, you got to be really logical about how you do things, because it is in a danger area. And remember, so with risk comes reward. What you've got to do on your end is understand if you can hold that risk. If you cannot hold that risk, there is nothing wrong with repositioning yourself in the market, taking the L and reposition yourself, because as Bitcoin is flying red, I don't know what that's doing to your mental health right now. I don't know what it's doing to your mental health, and I really hope, right, that you take the appropriate actions, because having you be healthy, have a good mindset as Bitcoin is doing what it's doing is way more important, because as bad as it gets, so long as your mind is in a good state, you can always bounce back and get back what was lost. All right, so this analysis is there to do two things: reassure you if you're freaking out, to let you know that it hasn't gone crazy bad yet, right? Should you be worried? Yes, but it hasn't gone really bad yet, okay? And the whole idea behind this is that I don't want anyone doing anything crazy right now, right? The markets is going to be there forever. Learning the game is the most important thing you can do, right? And right about now, I have a whole bunch of videos that you can go through. It's an analysis based on my style of trading, okay, right? And this style of trading has helped me immensely, right? And I'm sharing that with you for free on YouTube. All you've got to do is go through all of the videos. I've put them through as a playlist and all the rest of them. Just sit there and just binge them all, and you're gonna understand that I'm not coming from a place of where I'm trying to sell you a course. I'm trying to sell you something, because once upon a time I was you. I was trying to figure this thing out for myself. I was taking L's left, right, and center, and I never gave up. Hence why I am where I am right now. I want you guys to win, because everyone can win. But however, you have to be of the mindset if this is actually for you or if it's not for you, because not everybody can do this. This is not for everybody. I promise you, it is not. So I think these are useful words I can come up with right now to help you in these difficult times in regards to what's happening with Bitcoin. But however, it's not all bad. It's not all bad. And I believe that so long as you regulate yourself properly, right, make sure that your mental health is in the place where it's supposed to be, you're going to be a-okay. So with that said, there's going to be a bunch of videos recommended at the end of this video. Go check them out, right? When you're done, go onto my channel page and find a video and just binge watch that, okay? So you can put Breaking Bad aside for a weekend and just binge watch a selection of the videos I've put together on whatever asset you're interested in, okay? And at the end of that, if you don't know how to trade, you're gonna have a decent system that you can use to help you navigate, and it's gonna be good for all market conditions, right? So with that said, guys, I'll see you all on the next one.